Hey everybody, give me just a second. I'm having some technical difficulties, which seems to be kind of normal. Okay. Just one more sec, sorry. All right. Hey everybody, my name is Sherry Sutton and I am your marketing mentor. So excited to talk to you today about a very simple way that you can create posts that convert. So I teach this in my 2 weeks to social media mastery class, which I really encourage you to join if you can. It's $14, but it's 14 days of content. And every single day, I give you tips on the type of post to do, the type of creative to do, as well as exactly kind of what to post using this formula, this 4-part formula. And I give you examples for my realtors and my life coaches out there. I actually have examples from realtors and life coaches every single day. So if you want to check that out, you can head over to my website. It's sherrysutton.com. Go to the Marketing Mastery School and you'll see it there. All right. So what's the 4-part formula for writing really great posts that sell? The first thing you want to do is you want to state your customer's problem. And you want to do that from your customer's perspective. So it can be things like, let's say you're a realtor, right? And one of the things that your customers always struggle with is how to budget for moving costs. This is one of the examples I use in 2 weeks to social media mastery. So how do I budget for moving costs, right? Another one might be, do I need a staging company for my home? A life coach, some examples of this might be things like, do you have a hard time sleeping at night, right? Those types of things. Think about, as you're talking to your clients, what are some of the key challenges that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis? Don't go to the solution yet, but you want to connect with them about what their challenges are, okay? So you could say something like, let's go back to that life coach example around not sleeping. You could say something like, do you find sleep a challenge? Are you always tired during the day, right? And maybe start with that, something along those lines. Or, you could even be more creative and say something like, do you put your head on the pillow at night only to stare at the ceiling for 3 hours because you can't fall asleep? Something like that. Okay, so that's step 1, is talking about your customer's challenge. Step 2 is empathizing with them. We all want the people that we work with to empathize with what we're going through. And if you have personal experience in dealing with this issue, all the better, right? We want to be able to say, I went through this too, or I hear my customers saying this all the time, those types of things. Let people know that they're not alone. Because a lot of times these issues can be very vulnerable for us, even if they're, something that's not super, super intimate, but it might still feel very vulnerable, right? Anything having to do with money, physical health, often people struggle with that. Excuse me. And they don't like to share, right? They feel a little bit vulnerable. So letting them know that it's okay, that they're in a safe place, that you understand, or that even that you've been through it yourself will really help. So number 1 is talking about your customer challenge. Number 2 is telling your customers that you empathize with them, you understand what they're going through. Step 3 is giving them some advice on how to solve their problem. And I met with a client this morning. We were talking about this. Often, let me say this. You will want to go right to the answer of call me and I'll fix it for you, especially my coaches out there, right? Call me and we'll talk about it. Well, people might not be ready to invest that type of time. A lot of people don't like to talk on the phone unless they really need to, right? I have to admit, I'm one of those people. So you want to give them a few pieces of advice that they can use today, but if they want to learn more, they can come to you later. So I always recommend doing like 3 bullet points. So let's go back to the sleep example we were talking about. So, the customer challenge is, do you hit the pillow at night and just stare at the ceiling for 3 hours because you can't sleep? And then you can empathize. You say something like, hey, I've had that same issue too. I went through a decade of, not being able to sleep. 3, This is where you want to give some real concrete advice, things that they can do in their life to try to make that better. So you can say things like, I work with my clients on these issues all the time. Here's a few things that people can do, right? Whatever it is, like listen to music, do a meditation, even better if you have a meditation that, you can market your own meditation, lavender oil, whatever it is. But whatever that is, make sure it ties in with your brand, even better, something that maybe you can sell as well. So give them some really concrete steps that they can use. Couple tips here. I always prefer 3 bullets, and just research shows that things in 3s, people really like them. It's something about brain chemistry. I'm sure there's more research on it. The other thing is to use an emoji when you do those 3 bullet points. Use an emoji as your main bullet, right? The bullet for the point. Social media platforms love emojis, and so this way you can use your emoji and not have it be sort of corny or in an odd place later on in your post. Okay, so you've stated your customer's problem, you've shown empathy, you've given them some concrete ideas on how they could solve their problem. Now you can go to asking for engagement. And you can do this in 2 ways. And I talk about this a lot in my 2 weeks to social media mastery, but you don't want to always go right to a sale in all of your posts. About 30% of your posts should be just advice only posts. And in those posts, you should still ask for some sort of engagement, some sort of call to action. And that could be, how do you guys deal when you have a sleepless night? Is this something that you guys deal with? Has anybody here have good meditations that they do when they can't sleep at night, right? Ask for engagement. The more you can get people talking, the more you can have 2-way dialogue on social platforms, the better you're going to do in the algorithm, and the better you're just going to connect with your potential clients. So you can either ask for more conversation, or you can go straight to, hey, join, this program. Or, if you're a life coach, I've got a 30-minute consultation, happy to give you more tips and advice. It's generally kind of a soft sell, but it's okay to say, hey, this is a program that might work for you. You could also use that to say, go to this program, those types of things. So we'll review them one more time. First is state your customer's challenge from their perspective. 2, show some empathy. 3, share concrete ways that they can solve that problem. And 4, ask for continuous engagement, whether that's asking them to talk more or asking them to take some sort of action like buying from you or setting up a follow-up call. I hope that this was really helpful for you. If you guys have any questions, please send me a note. My email is sherry@sherrysutton.com, or you can direct message me here. Or if you love what you're hearing and you really want to put this into practice, the 2 weeks to social media mastery is probably perfect for you. Again, go to my website at sherrysutton.com, SHERRY Sutton, SUTTON.com, and click on the Marketing Mastery School. And if you scroll down just a little bit, it's right there towards the top. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Mwah.